Hey everybody, it's Cam, and with the new update to Back 4 Blood, skull totems have become even more important, and that's why I want to show off another map I've made for Caustic Cesspool. This map will show you where all the skull totems will spawn in, along with the warp chests, the inner hive locations, and some places that I found extra cards will spawn in. So getting into it, this is where the map will begin as you slide down from the safe room. The map is not perfect by any means, but you get the gist. In this starting area, there's not really anything too interesting. I've never gotten any cards to spawn in this first part. There is some loot such as ammo and guns, but that's about it. Moving into the next section, this is where you'll find your first spawn location for the warp chests and the skull totems. As you're moving along, if you have a group of two, I suggest one person goes this way while another person goes over here. That is because this path will actually lead into this path over here. And if you're coming into this room from up top, sometimes some sleepers will spawn on the wall and they're hard to shoot while you're up there. So if someone comes this way, clears the room of the sleepers, while someone else goes the other way, it actually makes things a lot more smooth. This rock right here, you can find a skull totem, the warp chest, and you can get a card. If you do actually end up taking the other path that goes up top, as you can see, 2 cards can actually spawn up here, along with the warp chest. Once you round the corner, you will get to this drop down section. Doesn't really matter, you can make your way back around, but you do need to look out for sleepers that can be on the wall. So, on the map, as you can see, there's a lot of area that's colored in green. That is this toxic river. If you are ever in this river, you will be taking damage. And something to note about the river is Ridden will spawn in it anywhere in the map. So anywhere that's colored green is a dangerous spot. This is the one and only drop down spot in this level. Once you drop down off this rock, you will not be able to get back up. So make sure you loot the entire first half of the map before you drop down. So after jumping down, you will come to this one wide open section. In here, 2 skull totems can spawn on each side. But something important to think about is whenever you fall into this bottom area, there is only 3 ways to get back up top. So one way is just running over to this side, and there is a nice convenient ramp back up. You could also run to the other side where there are steps right by this waterfall that will let you get back up. And lastly, you can run to where the drop down section is. There are also steps here. After you jump across the gap and head into the next area, if you go left, that's where you can find the skull totem and warp chest spawns. And then not far after this, you will get to the first exit of this level. If you want to leave this hive as fast as possible, this is the exit you'll be taking. Something I didn't know about this level but is actually really useful is once you go down this waterfall, you can actually come back up. And if you look right there, you'll see the secret of the level. You can't get up there this way, but if you slide down, go to your left and jump up this way, you can take down some webs and eventually you'll come to where the secret is. This is actually pretty useful because now you don't have to commit to completing the rest of the hive if you just want to loot around a little bit more, especially if you just want to come down here and check on the right, because a card can spawn here sometimes. Maybe you come down here, check for the card, and then just run back to the exit. Now we're coming to the part of the map that I really butchered the drawing of it because there's just so many different rocks and paths along the Green River, so forgive me. But anyways, if you take the right path, there are some spawns in here, and then there's also spawns up here. Overall, it's just better taking the right path rather than going this way because there's actually nothing here at all. The only thing is, once you jump down from this top section, you can't jump back up, so you will need to take the path back if you forgot something up there. Alright, now that I've done a basic overview of this map, I'm just going to go back and show you some good spots to hold out on if you're playing on No Hope. All these spots were shown to me by Tib, so thank you, Tib. I really appreciate it. So this spot here is an okay spot to hold out in, but not the best. So moving up a little bit, once you get to this weird rock, this is actually a really good place to hold out because you have a good line of sight in both directions and you have some pretty easy cover right here. So up top here in this tunnel is a decent spot. As long as you have 2 people, so one person can watch this way while another person watches this way. If you can't make it to that top tunnel, okay spots to hold out are right here. And a not so great spot to hold out in a pinch is right here. But overall, try to avoid these spots. After you drop down and you're in this open area, there are 2 good holdout spots here where both of the skull totems spawn in. A mass spot to hold out is in there under the acid waterfall, but it's not a great spot. This exit can be an okay spot to hold out if you want to continue further. You just have to look out for the explosives that could be in here, and also if your whole team's in here, then you're gonna exit. So very situational holdout spot. Another spot that you could use instead is actually just coming up here, getting rid of some of the webs and holding in here, watching both sides. A really good place to hold out is around the corner and at the very back here. Moving towards the end, this place where the skull totem and inner layer will spawn is a good place to hold out. And then lastly, right at the exit, holding this hallway is a super good place to hold out if you just need to buy some time so you can go back and loot a little bit more. But yeah, that's my map and kind of tutorial walkthrough of Caustic Cesspool. If anything, you can just use this video for the map. That way, whenever you get this hive, you can just look at the map and know exactly where all the skull totems spawn in. I will be making a map for every other tunnel, so subscribe to be notified when I make those videos, hopefully very soon. And other than that, have a good one, everybody.